Good evening, folks. I would like to introduce Jason Benell. Jason is running for Dallas County Supervisor. We've previously endorsed Jason in the last cycle for City Council. So we know Jason pretty well. And I'm going to give the floor to Jason now. It's your go.
Yeah, my name is Jason Benell. I am running to be hopefully on the Dallas County Board of Supervisors. We're going from three to five. We have a unique opportunity here to have more representation across the county. This is a new seat. Nobody sits in it right now. So it is a partisan race. I am running against one Republican opponent. I am running, well, a little bit about myself. I am formerly from the south side of Des Moines and now live in West Des Moines. I was an Army brat, grew up kind of all around the world, ended up in Iowa to finish out high school, joined the Iowa Army National Guard, did a tour in Iraq, came back home, went to Iowa State University met my wife, have two beautiful kids, and here we are. I'm running because I want not only Iowa, but specifically Dallas County to be a place for people to stay. It is the fastest growing county, not just in Iowa, not just in the Midwest, but one of the fastest growing counties in the entire country. And with that growth comes a lot of responsibility. And we are at an inflection point where the decisions made this year and in the next few years are going to determine how well prepared we are for the massive growth we are still going to expect. We're probably about halfway done growing right now. We've got another decade of growing to go, and we want to make sure we are positioned with not only responsible planning for the future in terms of infrastructure, but also have folks of good character and good foresight so that everybody's rights are respected and we have a community that is good for everybody, not just those who happen to get there first or who happen to have a favorite pet project. And that's where I come in. I think I have the vision, the background, and the motivation to do what's best for the people of Dallas County. I do not want to represent just West Des Moines. I want to represent everybody across the entire county because when we all do better, we all do better. And that's why I want to be your next supervisor here in Dallas County.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. So we're going to give the floor now to Patrick. Patrick's the chair of our election endorsement committee. So Patrick will ask you two, maybe three questions. Patrick, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mitch. And thank you, Jason, for joining us this evening. So as you know, part of the vetting process for this endorsement was to give you a questionnaire and have you answer it and send it back to us. And then the committee would review it and ask you any clarifying questions that we might have. So we have a few. The first one is questions 5A and 5B of the questionnaire asked respectively if you believe there is a lack of affordable housing in your county, and if yes, what your ideas are for increasing affordable housing in your county. You indicated that there is a lack of affordable housing and that you would collaborate with the cities in the county to find locations and properties that can become affordable housing for future growth and expansion. So please now tell us, one, how exactly you would collaborate with the cities in the county to find locations and properties, and two, what other ideas you might have to improve the affordable housing situation in your county.
Yeah, so in Dallas County, there is really no major interaction between the county and the cities. The county has taken a very hands-off approach, and that means that all of the projects that do exist in the county, the few that there are purely done through nonprofits and private organizations. I think that needs to change, and that means collaborating with leaders from places like West Des Moines, Grimes, Urbandale, Waukee, these places that are just exploding in population. If we get in the groundwork now and get these properties selected and built up and set aside for affordable housing through, in my view, mostly public operations, but maybe public-private partnerships, we would have the foundation for that growth to continue rather than having to retroactively rushing back in 8 years when we find that we have no affordable housing. So really, it's going to be collaborating with the city leaders actively, proactively ahead of time, rather than waiting for the development to catch up and then maybe trying to address something that could have been addressed now. That's the primary focus here because that action isn't happening. And then to the second part, other ideas. I really do like the idea of just public housing. There's no reason that we can't have a county that steps in a place that's growing like this and just say, hey, we are going to take care of this. I believe it is in the power of most governments, but especially this local government in Dallas County, to just say, we're not going to have homelessness. We're not going to have folks that are unhoused because we have the resources. We have the ability to do it. It's a will issue, not a can't do, in my view.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The next question is question number 3 of the questionnaire, which asked if you support project labor agreements, or PLAs, for public construction and infrastructure projects. So from your answer, it appears you may not have understood the question the way we had asked it. So to clarify, project labor agreements in the context of this question refers to a pre-hire collective bargaining contract between construction project management and owners and labor unions. So now, based on this context of the PLA, for the projects of the Dallas County Board of Supervisors, would you support enacting a PLA philosophy for all its bid projects?
So maybe I did misunderstand that. I would like to see what I put down, to be honest. That was what question, what number was that one?
Question number 3.
3. Do I support a PLA agreement for public construction pre-hire? I see. I guess maybe I misunderstand the context. I think union labor is preferable to non-union because we want to pay higher prevailing wages. Having union labor raises the wage, has an upward pressure on wages across the entire county. That's how I read that question. Because that would be my answer. Is if that's what it means, then yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Looks like we have time for at least one more question. So question number 8 of the questionnaire asked how you would increase citizen involvement in county government. You answered that the meetings need to be more open and transparent, and that public solicitation of ideas like petitions and online streaming need more advanced public notice. Please now name 3 specific ways, other than what you already answered, to increase participation in county government.
The first one is going to be supervisors should be at local city council meetings and or board meetings. They should not be something that are optional, as best we can. I do believe this position is compensated enough and has expectations enough. Someone can be at all of those meetings. I would also encourage partnership with a lot of the neighborhood programs that are across the county, particularly in rural parts of the county. We're lucky to see those folks be able to show up because they all have to travel all the way to the county seat. I see no reason why supervisors can't reach out to those neighborhood groups. And if they don't exist in the community, we should create them. And then the other would be, I think I put streaming in there. I feel like I have to reiterate that it's 2026. There's no reason that these meetings can't be streamed online. That should be a bare minimum. And then I'll add a 4th. Right now, meetings are often held during the day. That's during a time when people just can't make it. There's no reason that we can't have meetings at 10 a.m. and then every other time it's at 6, 7 p.m. I'm even willing to have them on a weekend. The public board of supervisors is there to serve the public, and that doesn't just mean people who don't work a 9 to 5.
Okay, thank you. How are we doing on time, Mitch?
Well, that'll be it with the questions. And so Patrick, thank you very much for asking the questions. Jason, so we'll get you about a minute. You could talk a little more about yourself. How do we get a hold of you, and how do you make a contribution, et cetera, with your campaign?
Yeah, well, I thanks so much for the opportunity to answer these questions in more depth. I always struggle with talking about myself, but I think it's important in roles like this. Some more background on me. I've led a nonprofit group in Central Iowa. I've done some lobbying at the Capitol. I have the ability and the abilities to talk to people and build bridges across different ideologies and backgrounds, because that's who I am. That's how I was raised. That's how I've lived, and that's what I want to bring to Dallas County. I think we need to look forward and show that Iowa and Central Iowa is more than just farming, more than just insurance. It's everybody. We're diverse, and our leadership should look like that and reflect that back to the public.